The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening. I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. Topping the news tonight, history being made here on Grand Bahama as the Trinity Broadcasting Network kicked off its live 2-hour Praise the Lord recording at the Grand Lucayan Resort this afternoon. The taping will be seen by all around the world tonight at 10 p.m. on TBN. Many stakeholders are calling TBN's decision to come to Grand Bahama a blessing that could bring more faith-based business to the island. Natalie Martinborough reports.
It is a big accomplishment for the Ministry of Tourism, and it is cited as the first of many events to propel the island's religious tourism market. Those involved in TBN's Praise the Lord program, including members of the Crouch family and international recording artists, began arriving on Grand Bahama on Sunday. Hours ahead of the live taping, team members were welcomed to Grand Bahama during a reception. Minister for Grand Bahama, Dr. Michael Dabble, says the arrival of TBN can be viewed as a spiritual and economic blessing for Grand Bahama.
Trinity Broadcasting Network would certainly assist us in our effort to expose our country, its culture, and the people of the Bahamas to the millions of viewers that watch TBN on a daily basis. We are grateful for the economic and social benefits of this event and the fact that it will showcase Bahamian artisans, and we hope that Grand Bahama Island will become your new home, away from home, and that Trinity Broadcasting Network will choose Grand Bahama as one of its premier destinations for broadcasting Praise the Lord programs in the future.
President of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, Reverend Peter Pinder, paid tribute to the founder of TBN, Paul Crouch, who passed away several months ago. He says Bahamians have a connection with TBN and are happy to welcome the Crouch family to Grand Bahama.
Many Bahamians have been watching TBN for many years. And the fact that the programming has been 24 hours a day has given us many opportunities to be enriched. And I can say that some of the best preachers I've heard on TBN. Just your presence is going to motivate many of our people to continue to expand the gospel of Jesus Christ. And so we're excited about all the possibilities that are associated with this experience.
The live taping is taking place at the Grand Lucayan Resort. Resort manager Ben Davis and chairman of the Grand Bahama Island Tourism Board, Russell Miller, say Grand Bahama will receive tremendous exposure from TBN's presence on this island.
Next year, we do have some religious events taking place that are already booked, and we look forward to hosting them. Again, it's our business. We'd love to have a lot more religious groups here on the island. We can cater for them. We have done in the past, and we'll continue to do so with distinction.
We would be exposed to millions of people. I'm told that TBN is ranked second as the broadcast group owner in the United States, and is among some of America's top satellite providers in the world. It broadcasts over 2.9 billion, with a B, mobile users. Again, these are people that we are going to be exposed to, and the island of Grand Bahama is going to reap huge benefits as a result of that.
The TBN family was asked to make the live taping here on Grand Bahama an annual event. Natalie Martinborough, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Natalie. Tomorrow is decision day for taxi drivers on Grand Bahama as ground transportation professionals head to the polls to elect an administration to lead that organization for the next 2 years. We hear from the man who held the top spot for the last term and is seeking re-election. Incumbent David Jones is offering himself for the top post in the Grand Bahama Taxi Union for a second time. He says he believes his first term in office was fruitful.
First of all, we increase our membership. We got pushed into believing in the union again. Second of all, we refurbish all the taxi stands, most of them. We're in talks now with Club Fortuna. They're going to do a full renovation of the taxi stand once the hotel is closed during the slow period. Also, we now paying the dividends from our profit sharing. We now are paying that. We were able to start our classes as far as the new Spanish classes for drivers. We're talking about more classes for them in the future.
Despite those accomplishments, Jones says they are working to address other issues.
We're in talks with the government, some serious talks with the government. As far as exemptions on vehicles, we want to upgrade our vehicles. We're also talking about putting a value on your franchise, giving you full ownership of your franchise. Also, too, we were in talks with Valeria, Sunming, and the Celebration. We were able to get jobs back for the drivers, what we've lost prior. We wanted to adopt one of the taxi drivers' children that goes to college, and we want to give them start setting a scholarship fund.
But he says the taxi union is still facing a battle with tour operators.
The law clearly states what a taxi driver is supposed to do and what a tour operator is supposed to do. And we are asking the minute, even if I don't return an office, that the minister do come down. We've been asking for a meeting for her for a while, that she come meet directly with the drivers so we can iron out some concerns that we have.
Yulitha Strawn is running for the second vice president position. She also believes the long-standing issue with tour operators must be resolved.
I would also like to see us as drivers get the fair share of the pie, as opposed to just tour companies reaping benefits that was once stated specifically for taxis. I would like to see the government take a more active role in what is going on with taxi drivers, both on the island and especially around the hotels.
231 out of 260 members are eligible to vote in Wednesday's elections. Well, veteran taxi driver Rodney Forbes Jr. is also contesting the presidency post in the Grand Bahama Taxi Union. Forbes, who has been a part of the ground transportation industry for the past 25 years, talks about his vision for the organization if elected.
My vision is to improve the corporate facet of our union, to develop marketing strategies that is relevant in order to compete with ground transportation and tour operators, to improve our local and international network, which will allow for new business opportunities and increase in trade prospects, to strengthen the rapport between all government agencies, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and the general public, to develop educational and personal development opportunities for taxi drivers.
The taxi union elections will be held tomorrow at the Grand Bahama Taxi Union Hall. Polls will open at 9 a.m. In other news, a local school and church hit by vandals this past weekend. Tonight, the principal of the school is speaking out. Shashina Roll has that story.
Copper thieves hitting Tabernacle Church and School. Principal Norris Bain says this unfortunate situation left them in a bind on the first day of school.
Just before we were about to start service, Pastor came in to try to turn on the air conditioning units and noticed that they wouldn't come on. And when he went outside to check, noticed that there was damage to both units. And so he proceeded to go around the school checking to see what was going on, and we found out that every air conditioning unit here at school had been vandalized in terms of the copper theft. They'd removed all the copper from all of the air conditioning units here at school, and so this morning left us in a real predicament.
Bain says teachers and students were able to settle in despite the scorching heat, but he says from now on the school will be taking preventative measures to ensure that this never happens again. Police officials have now launched a full investigation.
The police came, did a good job, and tried to find out what actually happened. And so we're in the process of installing some cameras and stuff on the campus so that hopefully that would be a preventative method to make sure that it doesn't happen again, but it's really disheartening. We really need to do something about persons who are stealing copper, and then the persons who are receiving this copper. A strong message needs to be sent to both groups.
He is making this appeal.
Anybody that would have seen any vehicles, any persons here on the compound Sunday morning, we'd love for them to come forward with some information that would help us put a stop to this. You know, there's like illnesses. You don't know the pain of it until it hits you. It's really disturbing to see for a school, persons have no respect for the school, no respect for the church building. I remember growing up, we wouldn't most think about vandalizing the church building, but this is really, really sad. And we do so much to try to help our community through the various organizations and clubs, the various clubs that are located on this campus for young men and young women. So this is definitely a minor setback at this time.
It is unclear how much it will cost the school to replace the stolen copper, but Bain says it will take at least a day and a half for the new copper to be installed. Shashina Roll, ZNS Network News.
Members of the Constitutional Commission holding a full day of meetings on Grand Bahama this past Friday. Members of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, police, and Defense Force officers were able to hear about the 4 equality bills that are currently before Parliament. Member of the Commission, retired Justice Ruby Nottage, says the meetings on Grand Bahama were lively and encouraging. She says when it comes to the meeting with the local church leaders, they felt that dialogue on the equality bills was long overdue.
They really hoped that this had come long before this. I think that what we've had is the media taking off in one direction and many of our citizens not being clear as to really what these bills are about. And so we were able to clarify that this morning and make the pastors and the other persons there comfortable that the bills are about bringing an equality to men and women before the law. And that was what we engaged in.
Now, the bills must be approved by 3/4 of the House of Assembly and Senate. Then voters will be asked to give their opinion during a referendum come November 6th. Nottage says there is quite a bit of misinformation circulating regarding the 4 bills. But she says the Commission members remain strong, focused, and on message. She says she is impressed with the level of interest on Grand Bahama, particularly among members of the Christian community.
They sent messages with us to go back to the Commission in order to ask the Commission to be careful that as they send messages out, that they deliver the message clearly and that the message be one message, control the message and not have too many messages out there. So that was interesting. We also had someone who came and clearly told us about the Book of Ruth. And as a result, he brought his own message, as it were, for us to take back to the Commission, which we duly taken note of. But it was basically an excellent exchange of pastors who are concerned about their constitution.
Now, Nottage says the Commission will return to Grand Bahama, and she hopes to take the education seminar to other sectors of this community. Stay with us. There's more news after this.